Global National with Donna Friesen. Reporting tonight, Lynn Collier.
Wage stagnation is one of the real challenges facing the most vulnerable Canadians, those at the bottom end of the wage spectrum. To help the lowest paid workers this month, Ontario raised its minimum wage to $14 an hour. As welcome as that is for workers, some employers now say they simply can't afford it. Eric Sorensen reports.
With the new year, a chill has descended in Ontario over the minimum wage, now $14 an hour.
It's essential.
There is ample support for it.
It's very expensive to live in Ontario.
Of course, especially nowadays. Everything is so high.
But it's created a bitter brew between many businesses and the Ontario government. Some Tim Hortons franchises have told employees breaks will no longer be paid and other benefits will be reduced. Ontario's premier has shot back. It's not fair. It is the act of a bully. It's a far cry from sunnier days when the premier served up warm public relations with Tim's.
What is the impact of a higher minimum wage? Well, there are pros and cons. The Bank of Canada estimates that the increases would cost 60,000 jobs by 2019. But most of the estimated 1.5 million employees working for minimum wage will earn more money. The bank says net labor income will overall see a positive impact.
Among the positives, when low-wage earners make more, they spend more. And the annual income at minimum wage will rise from $22,000 to over $27,000 a year, putting it above the so-called poverty line.
This brings up the bottom, and that's a very important way to reduce income inequality, is to provide low-wage workers with more money.
But it will cost businesses that pay minimum wage almost $5,000 a year more per employee, plus other costs. Some will cut jobs or hours or benefits.
We've had many of our businesses vocalize the fact that they will have to find a way to mitigate the cost.
This pub owner will look for efficiencies rather than adversely affect his employees.
The whole idea behind the wage increase is to make things more equitable.
One impact will be a bump in prices for folks who just got a bump in wages.
If the $14 an hour goes up, then the supermarket and everything else will go up. The price of living will go up too.
Still, the economy historically has absorbed higher minimum wages while raising the standard of living. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Toronto.
The minimum wage in Ontario is already the highest in the country, and it will rise even higher to $15 an hour next year. That's in line with a similar increase in Alberta. In the rest of the country, the minimum wage is still hovering around $11 an hour. Nova Scotia has the lowest minimum wage.